Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and as you can see from the title of the video today, I'll be talking about getting ready for separating out of the Navy, or what you should know if you're thinking about separating or if you're in the process of separating. So stay tuned.
Let's take this overboard now.
Okay guys, so today is July 15th and it's officially my last day in the Navy. Yay! So really, I just wanted to make this video basically just explaining the process of the stuff that I had to go through in the past year, and just, you know, basically just a checklist of like things y'all should keep track of, or what you should be thinking of or you should be doing before separating from the Navy or the military in general. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote down the stuff that I want to talk about to make sure I don't miss anything. If you're thinking about separating or leaving the military, you have to have a plan. It's so much sailors and people getting out the military and not having a plan. You want to have a plan because you do not want to get out and then you're trying to find all these resources and help when you have these resources while you're active duty or while you're reserve or while you're in the military. So make sure you use all the resources they give you. The first sign up, guys, you're going to want to have an idea of what you want to do. Yes, if you're a year out or 2 years out, you might not know exactly what you want to do, but you have to have an idea so you know what you should be looking into, the resources that you have to assist you for whatever field or job you plan on going into. So for me, I knew that I was going back to school, so I started taking prerequisite classes and stuff that had to do with the field I'm going in. So you want to make sure you at least have an idea of what you're going to do when you get out. So TAP stands for Transition Assistance Program, and TAPS basically is exactly what it's saying. It's helping you to transition out of active duty or out of the military into a civilian role. But TAPS helps you transition. I think they realized that so much sailors were struggling with this big move and this big change in their life from, you know, being in the military and going to the civilian world. So they made this program to help them out. You can take TAPS up to a year before your separation date. It's just different classes. So they have it categorized in different categories. You can take classes if you're planning on going to school, business owner, or if you're getting a regular government job. They help you write a resume, transfer all the stuff that you did with your military job over to a civilian job. A lot of the jobs that we have in the military, there's not a specific job in the civilian world for it, if that makes sense. So you need to translate what your eval is saying into a resume so that you can submit it. So they help you with that. TAPS classes was so beneficial, guys, to me. It was definitely full of so much information. This class can be taken online. I know a lot of people take it online and they just skip through it, not really paying attention, but it's actually a resource that is very beneficial. If you plan on getting disability, go ahead and start going to medical now. Make sure you're going to medical, guys, while you're in the service so you can document everything. I don't care if you fell and you hit your elbow and your elbow hurt. Go there and tell them your elbow hurt. And I know how sick call can get. If you're in the military, you know that sick call can be a mess. Sometimes you don't even get seen, but keep going to get seen, guys. This is the stuff you're going to need for your disability. They have a program called the BDD program, and that's basically you getting paid at discharge or 3 months discharge. I'm not sure exactly, but it's sooner than what you would if you applied for your disability when you get out, when you're out the service officially. So BDD program, you can apply from 180 days before separation to 90 days. Once that 90-day mark hits, you cannot apply for the BDD program. I am waiting back to get my decision letter, but I feel really good about it. I submitted my stuff for disability. A week later, I was informed all my appointments and what needed to get done. My process was done so fast. Now I'm just waiting. So make sure if you do have time. If you don't, it's okay. Apply for your disability still. But if you have between 180 and 90 days, apply for that BDD program, guys. I promise it won't fail you. Other thing I would say is be on track of your own stuff. It's so many people that I was in TAPS classes with, or people that I knew that were getting out, that were at different commands from me, and they're like, you know what, their leadership isn't any help. no one was telling them where they need to go, you know, like what steps they should be doing and stuff like that. So not every command and not everyone is going to be willing to help you sometime when you're getting out. And that's just my opinion. I feel like some people here are getting out and they just be like, okay, well, you getting out, I don't need to help you with nothing. And that's true, I ain't gonna lie. And then you have some actual commands that really help you. Like my command was so helpful. Any questions I had, I could find out and everything. But even with me having a chain of command that helped me, I still stayed on track of everything, guys. When I told you everything I stayed on track of, I kept any paperwork. I made a copy of anything I had to give to them and they didn't give me back. I need a copy of that. Keep track of your stuff and make sure all your stuff is right. So when you're going to get your DD214, that is your paperwork that's stating that, hey, it tells you what discharge you have, it tells your home address, and just your paperwork basically showing that you served in the military. When you go to fill out your paperwork for the DD214, guys, I can't stress this enough, make sure everything is on it correct. I remember they had my zip code wrong. I told them they had to fix that. You have to make sure everything is right because this paperwork is such an important piece of paperwork. You need it for almost anything that you need that's requiring you to prove that you did serve in the military. School, you need it. Disability, you're going to need it. You need it for a lot of stuff. So make sure your DD214 has everything correct on it. I know someone that said they messed up their social and said it took her forever to try to fix it and she couldn't apply for disability. Her school stuff was messed up. When you get your medical records, guys, get the paper form, and if your command does it, get the electronic. Make sure if you do need this paperwork for a certain thing and it has a deadline, make sure you're going to your medical record place, dental, medical, wherever you need to go, and see what's that time wait, because sometimes they can be backed up. They tell you that you're not going to get your medical record until months out or this and that. I needed my medical records for my disability claim and I made sure I was there 2 months ahead, so that however long you guys take, you shouldn't take 2 months, but however long y'all take, I'll have my medical records. Make sure you have all your medical records, guys, especially if you plan on applying for disability. Make sure everything's correct. If you know you got seen for something and it's not there, ask about it. Get copies, like stay on top of your stuff. Now I'm gonna touch on traveling. So if you have a family, kids, wife, even if you don't and it's just by yourself, they do have moving assistance program. I'm trying to find the name of it, but your command will tell you. And usually you go to Fleet and Family to get seen for it, but the Navy does offer to move your stuff. I know they have certain criteria that you have to meet and stuff, but I think for the most part of it, everyone will be able to get a free move. I think your discharge does matter, but this is stuff you can't look up. I couldn't find that article that I was trying to find, but I got my stuff moved for free. Literally, these people, they'll come in and they'll pack up your house and ship it, and they'll even hold it in storage while you're waiting, if you're waiting to get a place. So my moving date to my new place was like 4 months out, 5 months out from when I'm getting discharged. They didn't pack up my stuff, I packed up my stuff myself, but they do offer packing up. So if you don't even have to pack your stuff, guys, they'll pack it up for you, but I packed my own stuff because I feel like I want to pack my own stuff. But they picked it up and they're gonna hold it in their own storage for me until it's time for me to move into my new place, and then they'll bring it and they will unpack it if I want them to, and they're gonna put back up your bed and stuff and all that. So that is a great tool I would take advantage of, because when you're in the military, you can be stationed anywhere. Imagine having to move your stuff from California to Florida. That's insane. So that is something very helpful that I would look into. I would go to Fleet and Family and talk to them. Leave days. When you're getting out, you can take separation leave, which is up to 90 days of your leave that you have. So it is your leave you can take for, you know, if you want to move, if you have to move, whatever you have to do. If you want to take that separation leave, you can take it. And then depending on your command, I think you can take it up until your day of discharge, because I was able to take my terminal leave up until my discharge. I didn't have to go back up there. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to how many leave days you have, because you can sell your leave. And if you look it up online, there is an article that tells you how to calculate how much you'll get. I didn't sell my leave personally, only because once I did the math and realized how much, I believe they take out 15% tax out of it, and by the time I would sell my leave to them and they would take all the taxes, it would be less than what I was even getting paid for in one paycheck. So I decided to just take my leave and actually use my time to do something. I'm in school, so I took my time to do my schoolwork, and I also have a child. I spent my time with my child, but everyone's circumstance is different. So whatever reasons you have to take leave or to not, I would do the math and see how much you would get back if you sold your leave back to the Navy. So that's one thing to definitely look into. Go on va.gov, and they will show you all your benefits, all your stuff you like qualify for, and you can even look it up on Google. On va.gov, you'll learn about BNRE, and that's one of the programs I want to talk about, because this is the program that if you do receive over 20%, I believe, disability, you can qualify for them paying for your schooling and still giving you BAH, and that it doesn't touch your GI Bill. So it's separate from your GI Bill. But if you have something, a disability that's costs you not to be able to work, they'll help you pay for school and pay for other stuff. You have to go in there to see more, but this is something that you can find on va.gov, and va.gov lists so much things, guys. They'll tell you how much you'll get in BAH if you're going to school in certain places. That's where you can check on your disability. That's where you can look for government jobs. va.gov is somewhere that you can find a lot of stuff. In TAPS, they will let you sign up for your login, because you're not going to have a CAT card anymore to be able to just log into va.gov or certain government websites. So you need to have a civilian way to be able to log in. Usually you have to make it with ID.me or DFAS. So make sure you do that before you get out, because now if you get out and you didn't make it, you're going to have to find a different way of, making an account and doing all that. When if you do it before your CAT card's expired, it's easier to make an account, if that makes sense. But make sure you have a way to log in to these stuff without your CAT card, because you're not going to have a CAT card anymore. And now, guys, I'm going to answer some questions that I usually get once I tell people I'm getting out. People always ask, why are you getting out? Would you recommend doing a Navy? First, I'm going to start with why I got out. So personally, guys, my job in the Navy was retail specialist, which is RS. RSs are on ships and ships go on deployment. Personally, me, I just can't leave my daughter for 9 months to go on deployment. Don't feel comfortable doing it, and I just feel like I always knew I wanted to do one contract, get my benefits, get out and do what I have to do. I always knew I always knew that the military wasn't going to be a career for me. I did consider doing another contract, but once I had my daughter, I realized that I couldn't leave her. Even with that being said, the people who do go out to deployment and do have to leave their family, it's definitely a sacrifice that they make and honoring their country and everything. But I thankfully do have family and the circumstances in my life that I am able to get out, and my family is okay. It's not something I have to do. Do I recommend the military? I feel like with any job, you're gonna have times that you hate it, you're gonna have times that you love it, you're gonna have your pros and your cons of it. I would recommend the military, but with that recommendation, I always say what your circumstances are in your life depends on whether you should go or not. If you're a family person, you got a lot of kids and you don't want to leave your kids or you don't want to leave your family, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're a person that you don't know what you want to do with your life, you don't know if you want to go to school, you don't have the money for it, I recommend the military. They're going to give you a place to live, they're going to give you food, and they're going to pay you, okay? You're going to have to work hard, but they're giving you a place to live. And if you do have your kids, they're going to pay you BAH and make sure your family has a place to live. So there is benefits of being in the military, and there's cons too. There's so much things I missed back home with my family, growing up, vacation, stuff like that. And I'm a person that's a family person, so I value that, and that was one of the reasons of getting out. But everybody's circumstance is different. So would I recommend it? Yes. Depending on your circumstances, you have to do your research and see, does this lifestyle fit my lifestyle and my family lifestyle? If you're going to decide, or if you're thinking about joining the military, or if you should stay in, or if you should leave or do another contract, it's the same thing. Does the military fit this next chapter of your life? And that's what I had to look at, because the next chapter of my life I was walking in, it wasn't going to fit it. I was going to be away from my family, my daughter, and it wasn't something I wanted to do. The question I got, is there anything I wish I did? I would say if you're still in, y'all get every single benefit you can. Like, I went to classes about landlord, and Fleet and Family offers so many good courses on so many different things. There's many classes that you can be taking at Fleet and Family that could be benefiting your future, whether especially if you are planning to own your own business and stuff like that, it's a lot of classes, and you never know who you'll run into at these places, at Tapped or at Fleet and Family. Because one thing I've learned, guys, is that networking is one of the greatest forms of getting your name out there and finding jobs and people who are going into the fields and careers that you are looking into. So going to these stuff, you never know who you'll meet and the information that you'll get, or who might help you with something that you've been looking for. So I would definitely go. Pros in the military, I would say that BH, basic house allowance, love BH. What else? Free healthcare, but that's a pro and a con, because if you know TRICARE, you know TRICARE sucks. They suck sometimes. Sometimes you're not going to get seen for months out, and sometimes they look up and they might give you a civilian doctor. It just really depends where you're stationed, is what I feel like I realize. Because the bigger the place is at with the more military presence, the more backed up stuff would be. The less military presence in your surrounding place, or less bases are around you, I feel like you get through faster, in my experience. Cons, I would say, are the people, and that's also something that could be on a pro. I've met some of the best people who became family in the military, but I've also met people that I just, like, they shouldn't even have been in there. Like, I have met people, y'all, that I regret meeting. They didn't make my life hard in the military. And I met people who made it easier. So, but I feel like that's with any job. You're gonna meet the good and the bad. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back with a video about disability claims and how to file it, and my whole process also with that. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. I will be coming out with that video that will entail how to file, and I'll be letting you guys know what I received for my ratings, and you know what I put down, and just the whole process and everything. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching.